Hey everybody, it's Georgia Rose from Zenkuda. Welcome to the show. We are in the soul space tonight, and thank you so much for joining me. For the next hour, we are going to talk about everything above the five senses, above and beyond the five senses. And welcome to the Zenkuda community. As you know, I'm still in my home studio, and so I have to share the show, and I just have to look over here for your comments, so don't think I'm being rude if I look down or look away. Sometimes I'm also looking at my notes. So welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about the new moon that happens this Thursday, the 11th. We're going to talk about some of the astrology for Valentine's Day. Ooh, I think there's a lot of romance in the air. And we're going to talk a little bit about the biggest thing to watch out for in February. And then of course, because I know you all love the card pulls. So we'll get to those towards the end of the show, so stay tuned. I'm just going to bop over here and look at where I can see the show so that I can see all of your comments and see who's here. Hi Terry Fertini, I see you're here already. Joanne. Okay, let me see where we are. Sometimes it's a delay, so I don't always see the show right away, but I'm sure I'll be seeing all those comments soon. So how was everybody's week? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear you have any special plans for Valentine's Day. I can give you a little bit of a astrology prediction for what's going to happen. I think that's on Sunday. And let me know in general how you're feeling this energy. We do have a lot of Aquarius energy going around right now, around the cosmos. We actually have 6 planets in Aquarius. That's huge. That is intense. That is a lot of the high vibe. So for those of you who've been having ringing in the ears, heart palpitations, that's because the Aquarian energy is very high frequency and very high pitched. And also we have Uranus and Mars squaring all the planets in Aquarius. What does that mean? It means electric, more electric. I remember when I was a kid, that show that used to come on after Sesame Street, The Electric Company. Well, that's kind of what describes the galaxies right now. We are in a lot of electricity. So I got to make that electricity hot for Valentine's Day this week, right? So, first thing I want to talk about is definitely the new moon that's coming in on Thursday. Hey Monica, hey Joanne, hey, I have 2 Joannes on. Hey John, everybody's tuned in, so I hope you're all having a good week. I would love to hear what you guys are planning on doing for Valentine's Day, if anything. For me, Valentine's Day is always a day of self-love. I like to pamper myself or do something really sweet for myself. This Valentine's Day, we do have Venus and Jupiter coming together. And Venus, of course, is the planet of love. And Jupiter is a planet that just expands everything. So that should bring us some sweet, optimistic energy, and boy, could we all use it. But there are some other things going around that we got to be careful for and use the energy the right way. So I'm just going to look down at my notes. And while I'm doing that, I'm actually, hey David, I'm actually going to share the show. As you guys know, always got to do that, right? So, my hair is very unruly today. Okay, so I shared the show. Big deal, right? Okay, so how are you guys all doing? I hate not having a live call because I'm used to your call-ins on the show. And we're going to get back to those probably in March. I was talking to Sally via text the other day. So what's the energy doing? Right now, we're still in this place where we've been for a while where it's old versus new. So you've got 6 planets in Aquarius. And Aquarius is all new energy. Aquarius is the innovator. It's the inventor. It's the future. So we've got right now, let's see, we've got 6 planets. Let me see if I can name them without looking. We've got the sun. We have the moon coming into Aquarius. We have Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury. And what is the 6th one? Venus, of course. So we've got 6 planets in Aquarius. So as those planets in Aquarius are moving around the zodiac, what's going to happen? Well, we've got these other 2 planets, Mars and Uranus, in Taurus, and they're squaring the Aquarius energy. So as the universe keeps changing, they're going to keep squaring until they move apart. So what does that mean? It means when the squares come in, which is happening this week and next, the big one happens February 17th when Uranus squares Saturn. That is an energy of tension. And when Uranus and Mars square these planets, when Uranus squares them, it brings in a lot of electricity, lightning bolts, awakening. We talked about lightning in the room and how to use it last week on the broadcast. And Mars kind of zaps these planets as it goes by and gives them a little jolt. Mars doesn't really like to be in Taurus because Taurus is a really fixed energy. So it's kind of cranky these days, and that might be what we're seeing a little bit out there in the collective. But Uranus also does not really like to be in Taurus. Taurus is a fixed energy, and Uranus likes to move things. So we've got these major planets in Aquarius, 6 of them, which gives us a lot of Aquarian energy, a lot of future energy. So when this new moon in Aquarius comes in, which is going to happen February 11th at 2:06 p.m., it's going to happen at 23 degrees Aquarius. I know because it's right on my south node. But anyway, so I'm expecting something to come back from my past. I hope it's something good. So maybe there's a lotto ticket buried under the couch somewhere. That'd be great. So anyway, so when these energies come in, when the new moon comes in on the 11th, it's going to really ignite this energy all emotionally, because the moon is our emotions. So when the moon comes into all these Aquarian planets and joins them all, and then it gets squared by Uranus and Mars across the zodiac there on the 90-degree angle, it's going to make us kind of contemplative about old versus new. So the best way to use this energy is to create. Be creative. Think about what have you learned in 2020, the year from Doggy Doo-Doo, that you can bring forward to create something of value in your life. What is really your hope and your dream? Aquarius energy, Aquarius new moon especially, is our hopes and dreams and wishes. So what have you really thought about from last year, from the trials and tribulations that were 2020, that you can bring forward into your hopes and dreams and wishes in an aspiring way? So this new moon is really an energy of aspiration. It's an energy of aspiring to greatness, aspiring to do things that maybe right now, because of the squares operating, you feel like you really can't do it. But after this new moon, and especially when the sun goes into Pisces on the 18th, you're going to feel that aspiration, that dream, that hope, that wish become viable for you, and you're going to start to work out a plan to do it. And that's the energy. So best thing to do for this new moon on Thursday is set your aspiration. What is your hopes and dreams and wishes? What have you learned from 2020 that you now can bring forward into change in your life? Something you really want to do, something that's heartfelt, because the opposite of Aquarius is Leo, that beautiful heart-based energy. And with 6 planets in Aquarius, it's beaming that energy towards Leo. And that's really what we want to think about, that beautiful creation, that heart-based energy of the value of where we want to really be in our life. Where are we going? Where is our hope and dream and wishes, aspirations? Where are they bringing us, and where do we really want to be? And realize that you can be that. You might have a little difficulty as the squares play out in the next week or so. We have the new moon on the 11th, and then about 7 days of a little bit of overwhelming, sometimes volatile energy, very high frequency energy, that if you can harness it to give energy to your aspiration, then you'll see after the week is up that you can be that aspiration. You can be what you aspire to. You can create that goal to be a reality. So this new moon is really powerful for that. Think about your passions. Think about your beliefs, what you want to honor in your life, what you really want to hope and dream forward. So I'm just going to read some comments here. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Positive vibes, everybody, definitely. I'll tell you, we've got a lot of energy coming through here. So with 6 planets in any sign, that's a very intense amount of energy of that sign. And Aquarius is pulsating. It's electrifying. It's futuristic. It's inventive. It's innovative. It can also be divisive. It can be me, you. It's quirky and unique, and it honors individuality, but it amplifies individuation. So it can be, I'm inside, you're outside, that kind of an energy as well. So you want to stay in the higher octave of all this Aquarian energy, because the higher octave is the invention, the innovation, the aspiration, the power of harnessing all that electricity and high frequency to assert yourself to the goal of what you really want to do and what you really want to be. And passionate energy coming in when you have Venus and Jupiter in there. This could be a really life-changing kind of an energy, romantically, business-wise, creatively, if you are an artist or creating something, especially in communication. If you can harness some of this energy to improve your communication skills, to be able to communicate more effectively. I'm actually doing hosting a class tomorrow for the company that I work for, that is mindfulness for business communication, and teaching people how to communicate more readily using mindfulness and utilizing this energy. I specifically chose to do that class because of this new moon in Aquarius, all about communication. So for those of you who are having difficulty processing this stellium in Aquarian energy, these 6 planets in Aquarius, because it will give us a lot of energy, especially with Mercury being in retrograde, you need to slow down. And that's really what Mercury retrograde with all of these planets is trying to teach us, is to slow down a little bit. If you're finding your communication glitchy, if you're finding that feeling of being speeded up, if you're finding that things are moving too fast, even though they really aren't, but you have that sensation, it's time to just kind of relax, do a meditation, do breath work. There's a great exercise that I actually teach my students and my coaching clients called the box breath, and it changes your parasympathetic nervous system within 12 seconds. And it's actually an exercise that's used by Navy SEALs. And what it is, it's a 4 count. You actually breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe in 4, hold 4, out 4, hold 4. And if you do that, you immediately feel your body relax and come down, and the energy come down. So I would definitely do that if you're feeling the intensification of all these planets in Aquarius, especially around the head area, around our mind, high-pitched noise, frequency noise. I know one of my friends was saying that they have tinnitus or tinnitus when you have the ringing in the ears. That is very indicative of this high-frequency energy. You need to bring your energy down. So for Leos, I saw Sarah had written something. For Leo right now, all of this is happening opposing your sun. Because if you're a Leo sun, your sun is in Leo. So what that may make you feel is very tired. It could also make you feel buzzy but tired, short-circuited kind of, like because all of this is happening in opposition to your life force, your sun sign. So for Leos out there, I would focus on my Leo heart, my Leo sun, and bring the energy of meditation down into your heart to replenish you and give you some energy. I'm going to get to cards in a few minutes, guys. I want to just talk about one other thing that's going on, and then we'll go to cards. So on February, so definitely that new moon that's coming in on the 11th, use it to your advantage. New moons typically are the start of something new. They can also be closures to bring in something new, but usually new moons are when you want to start and plan. Make your list, make your plan, write in your journal your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, because it's a really powerful time to have those come into fruition and come into reality. So the only other thing I want to talk about before we'll go to cards and some readings is on February 17th, we have Uranus squaring Saturn. This is huge. It's actually going to happen 3 times over the course of the next year. And this is a very, very big energy. Historically, when this happens, there's always something that happens in the world that is very major change. So when this energy happens on the 17th, you want to really pay attention to what's going on in your life. Pay attention to what is occurring, because you will probably get messages about the direction that your life is supposed to go. Don't be surprised if this message is one where you have to let go of something. Usually when we see this square come in, it's going to be old versus new for the solution, old versus new to bring in something good, but that doesn't mean it's not painful. So go on that journey and allow, because Uranus in Taurus, the way most people describe this, most astrologers describe this, is Uranus is the irrepressible force. Uranus is expect the unexpected. Uranus is going to make something unexpected happen. You can't stop it. There's nothing you can do about it. You don't know when it's going to happen, but something is going to happen. That is the energy of Uranus. It's irrepressible. It's an irrepressible force. And now it's squaring, it's in a conversation of tension with Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn is the immovable object. Saturn is the boundary. Saturn is the authority and law. So when you have an irrepressible force, Uranus, meaning an immovable object, Saturn, and they come together, change happens. Someone brings change. Either the irrepressible force pushes the boundary to crumble a structure, or the immovable object pushes the irrepressible force to do some destruction. Something changes, something explodes, something is volcanic, something crumbles and explodes, dissolves, goes away, melts away in order to build new. Those squares are the defining moments of 2021. So pay really close attention. And the only way they can really wreak havoc in our life is if we resist the change. You have to flow with the change, trust the universe, something better is coming, no matter how disappointing or how painful it can be. It can also be tremendous positive change. Maybe the irrepressible force is something you've been wanting to happen for so long and it just won't happen. And that immovable object, Saturn, comes in and breaks it apart to move the energy for you, and you finally get something to move that you've been trying to move for a long time. So it could go either way, but I guarantee you when those squares occur, Taurus and Aquarius comes together, Uranus and Saturn come together, and something is definitely going to change. No doubt about it. So we've got a really good optimistic Valentine's Day coming in. I'd love to hear what you guys are all doing. I'm going to go to some cards. Let me see my comments here. Oh, my comments went away. Why can't I see all my comments? I don't know. Let me enlarge this. I don't know why I can't see all the comments. It's so strange when this happens. Okay. Alright. So, I'll just go with what I can see. Alright. Okay, now I got my comments. Aquarius. Oh, for you, Aquarius. Christina, you're going to feel this energy a lot. You've got so much going on. I would love to know what house your sun is in to know how it's really affecting you. But for Aquarius right now, this is like a lot of activity in your sign. You're probably really going to need rest. If anything, you probably feel this in a very deep way. Gina, a major shift is going to happen. I definitely think so. I think we're in it. I think the major shift that is happening is going to happen is happening. I think that the major shift isn't something that comes like this. It is happening right before our eyes and we don't see it. You know, I never am political on this show, but I noticed that we have this huge main event going on at the Capitol today with the Senate impeachment hearing. And yet on the bottom of my news feed, I saw an article about how they near Tampa Stadium, near Tampa in Florida, hackers got into the computer system of the water authority and were contaminating the whole water supply. Like, how come no one's talking about that? It's very strange. It's in the news. You can look it up, and they don't know who did it yet. They are looking to see where the hack came from, but and they had some systems in place and they caught it. But while we're all have our eyes on this circus, there are threats coming in our back door. So when people say to me all the time, I see there's going to be a big shift, it is happening. We need to wake up and see that it is happening. And that, you know, it's like anything else, that the fox is in the hen house and people are in the yard. They don't realize he went in. And so there's a huge shift occurring in the world with a lot of the political stage right now, not just in the U.S., and I think that's really indicative of the global collective community spiritually and where our spirituality is coming from, where it's headed to, where it's going to be. So I think that, excuse me, I think that this is the gradual shift right before our eyes. Like, people always say to me, I feel like we're going to have an event. And I'm like, this is the event. It's happening. So I agree with you, Gina, 100%. Yeah, see, somebody else read that. So, like, why is that not being talked about? Like, I don't know. That was kind of crazy to me. I went out and bought like 10 bottles of water today, 10 gallons of water. So anyway, anyway. Oh, your birthday is February 14th. Well, happy birthday, Gina. You got a lovely birthday with Venus conjuncting Jupiter. That's love. That's like very soft, beautiful energy being expanded. So you're going to have a great time. Hey, Christine Faye. I think, Christine, I know your ears have been ringing, and I don't know if you were just tuned in or you were on the broadcast, but I feel like the ringing in your ears is because of all these planets in Aquarius. It's very high frequency. And you're a Gemini, and that kind of makes sense to me because the North Node is also in Gemini right now. I got to look at your chart. I know I've done a reading for you, and I have your chart on file because I really think that... I'm not a doctor. This is not, my thing. But I really do believe that sometimes what is physically manifested is actually spiritual, and you may be having something as positive as an upgrade. I understand there's other issues and stuff, but I feel like this is not permanent for you, and I feel like this is a frequency thing, okay? I'm going to pull a card for you in a minute, sweetie. Who have I got? It was another question I wanted to answer. All of a sudden I have a sneezing fit. Libras, my Monica Libra. Yes. So Libra right now, it's kind of like you're kind of spared a lot of this Aquarian energy. It depends on what else is in your chart. But this is a good year for Libra because I think it's a year that you actually are going to be able to focus on your own balance instead of the balance of others. And that's really the life lesson of Librans is Librans always look to the other to be in harmony when they should have the harmony from within. And I think that you'd benefit. I know you recently went to Reiki, Monica. I would definitely try and do that on a regular basis every couple of months or something because I feel like your energy is going to become more calm and serene. It's just you've got to focus on within. So we're going to do some cards, okay, guys? Just scrolling down to see if anybody else has a question. Yeah, this is a time... Oh, that's also what I wanted to mention. Thank you, Terry, because I'm just reading what you wrote. Terry's writing, I'm changing for sure inside myself, and my emotions for my inner child and past have been so intense. But as emotions come out, a calm comes in behind it. February 20th will be 9 months from finally getting out of a toxic relationship. So this is also a really great time to do inner child work, what we call shadow work, any kind of inner work, because Chiron is in play, the planet of the wounded healer right now, in a sextile way with other planets where this new moon can bring in very deep healing. And even now, a few days before to a few days after. So for any of you who are really finding themselves being placed back into doing inner child work or trauma work, this is a deeply healing time for you. So definitely take advantage of it. And don't be afraid of that. Be the courageous, beautiful Zancuda warriors that we all are. And when you are faced with going back into trauma or times that were rough to heal them, I always think of the beautiful sign of Sagittarius. I'm a Sag rising, and one of the things that energy has taught me in my life is the arrow. You pull back on an arrow so that you can really aim and hit a target. If you just took an arrow and tried to throw it ahead, it wouldn't hit the target. But if you precisely pull it back and feel that pulling back and really let it be resonating and then aim, then you really hit a target. And that's the way I like to think of inner child work and shadow work and any kind of trauma work, because you're pulling back. You're going back for the reason of going forward. You're not going back to stay in the wound. And that's a beautiful thing in this energy in particular, because with Aquarius and 6 planets in Aquarius, while we're using Chiron to heal ourselves and while we're doing some inner child work, Aquarius will pull us forward out of it. And I think that's one of the mistakes that a lot of people make, and it sounds like you're moving forward, Terry, and I'm so proud of you. I think that it's heroic to be able to do that, especially after toxicity. But one of the mistakes I think a lot of people make, and I at one time even made it myself, that's why I can talk about it. I never talk about anything that's a challenge or a mistake unless I have been in it, because I don't feel, in my humility, I'm not going to speak for someone else. So one of the mistakes that we make when we are in trauma or we're trying to get over and heal is we stay in the wound and we don't realize we're doing it. We become enamored of other people who've had the same experience. It's like we go through a painful divorce and we want to talk to other chicks who've been through a painful divorce. Like, that's staying in the wound. Well, you're over it when you don't need to talk to those chicks about your divorce, And it's different from support. It's different from, everyone needs their girlfriends or their guy friends or the support of a community. It's different when you're doing it just so you can talk about your wound, because then you're staying in the wound. And so whenever I have an empowerment group or any of those things that I've done, and hopefully can do again when COVID kind of leaves us, I always try and steer it in the direction of forward and futuristic momentum, because people love to talk about, oh, this happened to me when I was 5. There's no goodness in that. It's different doing it to release energy or to gain clarity than it is to just keep talking about it for the sake of talking about it. So I just wanted to put that out there, because this energy, a lot of us will be propelled backwards to do inner child work and do shadow work. And you want to make sure you're doing it to move forward and let the Aquarian energy pull you forward. Just like that arrow, we pull back to hit a target even further. So just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Happy birthday to you on Valentine's Day. I can't sing. Taurus, well, Uranus is in your sign, and that would make sense to me. Uranus and Mars are there. Mars will be there for 7 weeks. Uranus 7 years. So Uranus is the Great Awakener, Terry. So that's absolutely makes sense of why you would leave a toxic relationship in this energy. That is change. Uranus wants to pull you forward. It's that sudden lightning moment, like you really see clarity and see the truth, and you have a vision of where you want to be with your life. That is absolutely Uranus in your sign. Yeah, I feel like that, Christine. I definitely do, Christine Faye. Do abilities get stronger as you get older? That's a good question. I'm going to answer it this way. I think that our ability in everything gets stronger as we get older because we're wiser. So I think there's that natural ability of the human species to be wiser and know more. Do our abilities as far as above the 5 senses, psychic ability, healing ability, for me, I know it did, because I think I honed my craft a lot and I spent a tremendous amount of hours in connection and developing that connection. So for me, yes, it gets stronger. I don't think age has anything to do with it. I think it's experience. I also think that, and this is absolutely how I will answer that question, the real answer. The more you clean out your life, which we have a tendency to do when we're older, the more you will have very acute intuitive senses, psychic ability, healing ability, whatever your modality is that resonates with you. Because the thing that prevents us from having that acutely and clearly is the static and the bullshit. So when you clear out the toxicity in your life, when you clear out yourself physically and you're healthy, when you don't have all the mental chatter, again, getting through trauma and not having a lot of trauma clouding you, then that's when you become psychic. That's when you become intuitive. That's when you know what you know, and it becomes really heightened. So yeah, I guess a byproduct of that is getting older, but I think that it's really how clear we get, Like for the most part, aside from 1 or 2 things, I don't really have a lot of conflict or controversy in my life, not because I avoid it, but I try and reconcile it with love wherever I can. And I've also learned in my life not to be around out of control people for many reasons. And if you really start going down your friends list, your family list, your list of people, there's a lot of people in life that are out of control in one way or another. and I don't really allow that in. I will have acquaintances that are, and spend time if I need to with them or whatever. I'm not a rigid person that cancels people, but I don't really allow the energy to affect me. So I think there's all kinds of things. We'll do a show about it. You can actually go on my website, Madison, zenkuda.com, and go into services. But I know you asked a question, and Gina, that could be because you are clearing your life out. You're devoting yourself to it. There's all of these self-help groups, books, psychic development workshops. Great if they're helping you, great if you want to do it. No harm can come, I don't think, of doing it unless you get somebody who's a crackpot. But the only way to really develop yourself, whether it's spiritually, like on the path of the Zenkuda community, or whether it's to do a certain modality of healing or psychic ability or just a threshold, shamanism, any of those things, it is complete and total devotion. It is handing your life over to spirit as in being in service. Not that you're going to shave your head and join a monastery, but if you want to do that, fine. But that you are using your life as service. You are in service. You have a certain portion of your life that is in service to the world, and you live that way. That is a huge spiritual commitment, and it's about devotion. So when we do that, that's when we become the shamans, the modern day mystics, the psychics, the healers, all of those things, the astrologers. That's when we become that, because we are completely devoted to that and doing that modality through a connection with a higher power that comes through us through that modality. So you have such a pure heart about it that, Terry, you will absolutely, excel and find those abilities. And the same with you, Gina. Your heart is pure, the ability comes. And the high frequencies, yes, meditation, eating high vibrational foods, all of those things. So we're going to go to cards because I don't want you guys not to get your cards. If you have any other questions, just ask them away. My first card tonight is actually going to be for David. Okay. I can't wait till we can actually have gatherings again, so we can have an empowerment group and all these beautiful things that we can do. I remember one time we did a beautiful meditation out at the Arboretum locally, and then afterwards we went to this beautiful, my shaman and his crystal store. It was just a beautiful Saturday afternoon that I had with some of my beautiful community. So we're going to do things like that again. Hopefully, I'm hoping spring, summer, we can do that. It seems like the vaccines are finally getting. So, Madison, for some reason I'm seeing the number 3. So that can be in 3 weeks or 3 months. Just keep the faith. Use this new moon to envision that. Picture yourself in a new place, etc. Okay? And it will come to you. David, your card is the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, David, is a communication. It's a good communication. It's your cup running over. You see the fish in the cup. So what I would do is, this is probably social media. So I would definitely, if there, and especially now with Mercury in retrograde, this could mean that someone from the past or a friend that you have lost touch with, you may find them getting back in touch with you through social media. Christina, I'm going to pick a card for you. And Gina, I was going to say, Gina says she's always open to devotion. I think that's beautiful. And if we can take a certain time every day to do that, whether it's in the morning when we wake up or in the evening, it's such a beautiful thing to do. So this card is for, who did I say this card was for? Hold on one second. This card, I believe, was for Gina. I think this is Gina's card. Gina, this is walking away from an emotional situation. So if there is something that is happening in your life that you're unsure about, you're probably going to end up walking away from it, even if it's temporary. We have Mercury in retrograde, and a lot of times when we walk away from things in Mercury retrograde, it kind of cycles back at some point. But the thing that's really speaking to me about this card is the sun and the moon, and it's almost like the new moon there. And we have the new moon coming in on Thursday, so I feel like you're going to undergo some kind of a change from this new moon energy, and you're okay with it. Like you're walking away from something that you thought was a great thing or an abundance, but it turned out to not really be what you are expecting, and now you are going to definitely walk away from that. So, and it's good for you to walk away from. Joanne, I am going to, oh no, Madison, let us know if that actually happens. But I don't want to disappoint you, but I feel like it's 3 months, but it could be sooner. But I have to say, I think that it's actually a good time frame for you. So whatever, it does happen, and whatever happens, it's actually a good time frame. It's like everything comes together the way it's supposed to. So don't sweat it. Put really positive vibe on it. Okay, this card is for Joanne Papalardo, my buddy. Joanne brought me a beautiful angel winged candle holder the other day. She came to visit. Okay. Joanne, you got the Chariot card. This card means something in your life moving forward. It's something that you were trying to make a decision about. You can see black and white and trying to make the decision, and then the Chariot moves forward. This can also be a card of angels surrounding you, but I definitely feel this is a card of moving forward. There's something that's been stagnated, and it finally moves. So take that with you, because that's a good energy. Also use the new moon for that. New moon is great to move things forward. Okay. Christina. I don't remember. Now I'm going to watch the video back. I'm going to pull another card for you. You know why? Because I have to go to the top of the comments and do it that way. I'll do Christina. Christina Gregoret Almeida. This is for you. And then I'll do Christine. But let me do Christina first, and I'll come back down. Okay, Christina, this is your card. This is the Sun card. This is a health card. Usually when I see this, it means someone's getting better or healthier. But also that maybe get yourself checked, a little blood work or something like that. But the sun is shining upon you. This is new beginnings, good health. You see the sunflowers in the background all bloomed. So if there's any kind of a health issue or anything that you've been worried about, it actually is good. This also can be a new baby coming in if someone in the family or anyone's looking for a new baby. This card is for Christine Fay. Okay. Christine, you are supposed to go into quiet. And it was funny because I said that before about, you being a Gemini and this energy. It's going to be really intense and electrical for you. So you may really want to spend time, quiet time. And I know you're having anxiety about, your ears, but try and relax, 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 relax. Look at this beautiful, almost prayer. Relax, be in prayer. I think that you need to connect. I almost feel like somebody's like trying to talk to you and you're not getting it. All right? Now I'm going to pull the second card for Gina. This is for Gina Trombatore. Okay, because I don't know who that card was for. We'll just redo it. Why should it be the same card? Gina. See, I do think that other card was meant for you because I felt like you were walking away from a situation in the other card. And this card is a happy relationship. I feel like you end something in order to go towards something. I hope that makes sense to you because I feel it's almost like, I'm going to go out on a limb here because I feel almost like it's like, this isn't for me. I got to leave this. And then very quickly something else comes in if it's not already here. So you're walking away from one situation to go to a better one. That's really what I feel like. This is a really happy, happy card. We're getting all happy card energy tonight, and I love that because it's that Jupiter-Venus conjunction coming in, too. We need that a little bit. Oh, you're welcome, sweetie. Okay, so this is for Joanne. Got cards flying all over. Can everyone just send a little bit of beautiful energy to each other? There's so many of us out here tonight that just need that little bit of extra hug, like a little love hug, little heart connection. I know Christine with her ears, Joanne's undergoing some stuff. Like my popcorn queen Janine is here. She's so funny. So definitely try and just let's just send beautiful heart energy and love to everybody. All right, that's in the Zenkuda community tonight. And this card is going to be for... This card's going to be for Terry. For Teeny. Terry, you're a warrior, honey. Look at that. You got the whole world in front of you. This is like, I always feel like this is a shaman card because it's like, you know, standing out, looking at the world and just seeing things that we don't see with our eyes. So you're on absolutely the right path. And that is all I'm going to say about that card because I don't need to say any more. That was just a beautiful card to pick for you. Okay. Next I'm going to pick... Oh, Gina ears too. Yeah, see, it's that high frequency pitch of that Aquarian energy. We've got 6 planets in that frequency. Okay, Monica, I'm going to pull a card for you. Did I pull a card for Monica? What is wrong with me tonight, guys? Usually I have this right on the money, man. Okay. Because the scroll is like, I have 102 comments, which I'm not complaining about. It's wonderful. But I'm having a hard time. Here we go. Okay. I'm having a hard time. The scroll keeps moving. Okay. This card's for Monica. My lovely Monica, my Libra lady. Ooh, Monica, you got the Strength card. So you are on the right path with whatever you're doing. I feel like this is self-empowerment. And this is my Leo card as well. And if you look at the top, the reason why this is called the Strength card, it's infinity. Like anything is possible. And when this card comes out, it's really reminding us of that and reminding us that anything is possible, that we can do anything we set our strength to, and that we have that beautiful strength of the lion. So just know that that is true and anything is possible. Janine, I'm going to pick a card for you, my friend. Janine's home, watching the show, eating her popcorn. It's a joke we have. Whenever something happens, Janine sends me the popcorn emoji. Okay. Janine, what do we got for you today? Janine. Don't fall back into other habits with this new moon. I feel like you're starting to be a little bit, get a little bit depressed or pessimistic. Keep the positive vibe. In this card, it looks like you are bondaged. You're in a situation where you can't move forward. But if you look at the card, all she has to do is walk ahead. So always remember to put one foot in front of the other. Let nothing stop you. Don't let anything put you in bondage. And keep moving forward. Sarah, did I pick your card? I didn't. Oh my goodness. My Sarah. I'm glad you all found me on Tuesday nights because I'm not on Thursday anymore. So. Okay, Sarah. Sarah, you got everyone's got good cards tonight. Sarah, this is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles, if you see all these stars, those are coins. So usually when we see a card like this, it means abundance, it means money coming to you, or anything that you value. It's definitely a good card for abundance and for whatever you're trying to manifest coming in. So the energy for you is really changing. You can see all the coins in this picture. It's like merchants. It's like selling things. It's making money. It's being projective with a project or something and thinking future oriented. So you've definitely got some abundance coming your way. It could be with finances, very much so, or it could be some other kind of abundance with love or something that you value. But I feel like it's a change of a money situation for you. So that's really pretty cool. All right. Oh, John Manetta, my #1 fan. When I'm back in the studio, I'm going to make John come on. Just because we haven't been in the studio for a year. I can't believe this. Doing a podcast from home for a year. I sure don't feel like Katie Couric. But that's probably a good thing. But John, you got the Page of Swords. Communication coming your way. Page of Swords usually, pages are communication, and the Page of Swords is usually a very swift communication. You know, it's like the 411. It's like the information comes very quickly and changes something. As you can see, he's like almost like he's standing on the tide. It's like a whoosh kind of a communication. I feel something tells me that this has to do with like romance. Like, I don't know if you have a date planned for Valentine's Day. If you don't, you should. Because I feel like you get a message or something happens. Maybe you meet someone online or through social media or something. But I definitely feel like this is a communication of some kind, electronically or, you know, networky, techie. But I feel like there's a romance brewing. If it's not here, it's something coming in the near future. There's something changing romantically. Angels are beautiful energy, Gina. I work with angels a lot. I actually studied angels for a couple of years when I was first starting to open. It was just beautiful. Oh, see, you just went for a checkup. Yeah, so I would say everything's going to be good. Christine, when you fly to, if you're flying to Florida, go to CVS or drugstore, whatever drugstore is by you, and get earplugs for your ears. One of the things that I notice with people who have issues with a high-pitched sound, believe it or not, sometimes when people can't hear because you're in a place that's noisy, maybe you're listening to live music and you're sitting at a table and you can't hear the voices, but if you put in earplugs, it drowns out the higher-pitched sounds so you can hear conversation. And I feel like you need, when you're on the plane, you're going to need to put something in the ears. So, or wear earmuffs or something. Gina Marie, giving you a card right now. You're welcome, Christine. I love you. I love everybody. So I remember when I was dating somebody once, and somebody asked me, "Do you really like them?" And I'm like, "I love everybody." So I couldn't understand that when I first started to date someone. Date, 10 years ago when I first started to date again after being in a very long marriage. Somebody asked me that, and I was like, "Well, how do you tell?" Because I love everybody. Okay, so Gina Marie, you're trying to make a lot of choices right now. Whenever I get this card, it really means to me that someone is trying to make a lot of choices. They have, trying to make a decision. They have a lot of choices facing them. And my advice is always take a step back. Because if you see in this card, the person's like kind of in the dark and there's all these different things to choose from. All these choices. What should I do? Which way should I go? There's also a card of having too much on your mind, like ruminating about the same thing over and over and just having like way too many things on your mind. My advice is always to take a step back whenever I get this card with someone, because when we are so overwhelmed with choices or we're doing too much in our life and can't focus readily on something with the mindfulness we should have, we usually make a bad decision. And the way to make a good decision is in the quiet. Nobody ever got a really fabulous idea in chaos. It will never happen. We get our best ideas and our best instincts in the quiet. So whatever's going on for you, if you're faced with a lot of choices or you're just feeling like you have a lot on your mind, a lot on your plate, take a step back, quiet contemplation before you make any changes or do anything. Never make a decision from a place of vulnerability, which chaos is. It makes us vulnerable. Too much thinking makes us vulnerable. Okay? Lots of hearts, hugs and prayers right back at you guys. Okay. Oh, see, Janine says she's sitting on the fence about something. Okay. I have a feeling it has something to do with work. Lucia, I'm going to pick a card for you. And then I've got Andrew. Andrew's another Gov's Comedy Club guy. Sorry, I wish I could see the comments here, but I can't because I'm in a broadcaster app. Okay. So, Lucia, I'm getting a male energy around you that's crossed over, just kind of coming in to say hi. Um, this would have been a person that used to sit at your table with you, eating dinners and things, having celebrations, and he is coming in to say hi and give you a big hug. And I know this is confirmation because I just got the High Priestess card, and that's the Psychic card. It's either dad or grandpa or an energy like that. I hate to label the energy when they come through because it could be someone who was like that to you and isn't really, but it feels like a dad energy or a grandfather energy. Just coming in to say hi. So Lucia, this is a card for me of psychic ability. Whenever I get the High Priestess card in the deck, it's usually me, when I do a reading for myself. In this case, this card is for you. So to me, what it really means is that you need to trust your intuition. You can see that the High Priestess, she's got the cross on her, and she's got this beautiful crown that is actually connecting her to divinity, to messages, to, God. And so I feel when I get this card for another person that they're showing me that there are messages coming through for you. Either you're dreaming about a lost loved one, or there are signs coming from that lost loved one, and you need to pay more attention. You may be seeing them, but not as acutely as you can. There's clarity there, and you are very, very loved, and there's a lot of love from the other side coming to you. So just know that love never dies. Love is eternal. Our souls live eternally, and love is unlimited. So someone coming through from the other side for you, just beautifully giving you a hug, loving you, thanking you for celebrations, for traditions, and family, real family. So just take that with you. That just came through very spontaneously for me when I saw your name. Andrew, I'm going to pull a card for you. He's checking in. That's okay, Andrew. You're always chatting with us, and we love that. So we're going to pull a card for you. Alrighty. Andrew, you got the Emperor, which means that whatever you're working on, keep working on it, because you are going to rule the school, sitting on your throne, Mr. Emperor. So know that you've got the confidence. This is the Ram, so it's an Aries card, and that is definitely, you are in charge and taking names. Thanks, Andrew. Kristen. Yes, I'm going to give you a card. Why, thank you, Miss Kristen. Going to get a card for you. This show goes so fast lately. All right, Kristen, I'm pulling... you've got the Hermit. Kristen, whenever I see this card, it usually means that you're being too much in the house and contemplative, like we all are now with these restrictions. But I feel like there's a light coming in. There's messages for you. When you are alone by yourself, try and do a little meditation. Try and really just, think about what you're thinking about. Think about, be aware, I guess I want to say, of what comes out. Because this is, God, the angels, whoever you believe in, holding up a light and really giving you some beautiful revelations and epiphanies. And that is going to probably come in for you during the new moon on Thursday, the day before or the day after. I really feel like that's something that's going to come in. Messages, revelations, epiphanies. You're going to see things in a different light. Mercury retrograde is actually until February 20th. I'm going to pull a card for Joanne Amaya and then Aaron. Oh, I'm glad, Gina. Okay, so this is for Joanne Amaya. Joanne, this is a card of playful competition or battle. And I feel whenever I see this card, I always feel like it's more of a playful competition. There's someone coming into your life that, kind of likes to rib you. Like when you're a kid and you get tickled. It's definitely a playful card. And also when this card comes in, it shows me that you need to have more lighthearted energy in your life. So stay positive and try and watch a funny movie or something funny. Like you need laughter. Definitely need laughter. Next card is for Aaron. I'm rushing a little bit because I know I only have a few minutes left on the show. February 19th, Babylon Breast Cancer Coalition. I'm doing a psychic night on Zoom. If you want tickets, you can go on their website, Babylon Breast Cancer Coalition. It's only $20 and all proceeds go to Babylon Breast Cancer Coalition. Aaron, you have the Chariot. So it is moving forward, Mr. Aaron, and we know what that's about. So you've been idling at the curb. It's like you're going backwards and you're going forward. You're going backwards and you're going forwards. This is a card that says that things will move forward. I think this new moon is going to be really good for you. We have so many planets in Aquarius and the new moon in Aquarius. I'll bet you anything that you're going to hear like the ice break after that. Kristen, I hope that made sense for you. And Lucia, if you're still here, if you could just give me confirmation if there was someone who passed away that you kind of felt that was the description was accurate for you. So I believe that's kind of the show tonight. You can find me on zenkuda.com under services if you want to book a private reading or astrology chart. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's Zenkuda Official, and on Facebook, Georgia Rose or Zenkuda. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I love you all. And before we sign off, let's just all give each other a big cosmic hug and send everyone a beautiful heart link. I'm seeing a lot of violet energy out there. Just allow that beautiful violet energy to come into your crown of your heads and down into your heart. Have a beautiful, beautiful full new moon on Thursday. Beautiful new moon in Aquarius at 2:06 p.m. at 23 degrees on February 11th. And if I get really ambitious, maybe we'll do a really quick full new moon ceremony on Thursday, but I'll post it on Facebook. Thanks so much, everybody. Looking forward to seeing y'all again right here in the Soul Space next Tuesday at 6:30. Bye-bye.